Alright guys, it's Niijii.
This is Urbanamp, back on the roof.
It's January 25th, 2018. I was discussing with you a little bit earlier that with all these contrails, chemtrails, I can't recollect when I was younger them lasting so long, but I just kind of was just thinking either something's changed. Either they are chemtrails or the atmosphere has changed or something.
Okay. You mean like sort of from let's say if you're coming at it from maybe from the perspective of not someone who believes that they're chemtrails or something.
Correct,
right?
yes.
If you look at it maybe objectively or something, or without any kind of like bias or pretense, if you just look at it, okay, I see what you're saying. It's like from that perspective, well, something's different, right?
Something is different.
But I feel like, have we talked about this to where I have memories from as a child that I don't really know, are they accurate, and that's hard to, I think it's hard to argue,
But I was outside as a kid, like a lot, like we were never in the house, The streetlights came on, Mom and Dad had to, call us down the street because we were just out. We were like never in the house. So
that's probably true for a lot of people from before too. I used to play outside too.
So, but I don't know. I feel I would have some kind of recollection of these lines are crazy, and
I'm just being devil's advocate.
I
agree with you with that. I don't recall that either. But I also think it's hard to.
I would recommend everybody going back and look at your VHS home videos and just go back and just look at them. You know what I mean? Especially if you play any sports, you were outside, a little league game or Pop Warner or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You showed
I do have
me
home
a
videos,
video about
I do
someone
have home
had. Remember, you showed me a video somebody had put together where they went through VHS and tried to find chemtrails in them. Who did that? Who was the creator of that?
That was Into the Stars.
Into the Stars. Okay.
Yeah, he did a live podcast, and he was going through other videos that I can't think of the video that he stumbled on that triggered him to do that live podcast about it. But he's just mentioning that he can't remember anything before 2001. Of any of those,
of just anything, because he has retrograde amnesia or something, right? Or no?
So
sorry, that was stupid.
So he was just, that was just his observation, but I found it interesting. And that kind of triggered me. I do have home videos that are on VHS. Some are transferred to CD or whatever, but I need to go back and look at those because, like I said, we were outside, so. Just wanted to,
my family wasn't the kind that took video of us.
It doesn't be video.
It
can be stills.
But even pictures. That's a good idea.
It can be pictures. I know you got a picture, somewhere in the sky. You got the background. You were at the beach or somewhere.
A picture that you could take of the sky where you wouldn't see a lion.
No.
I think that's almost every single day there. Except for remember there was that period for 3 or 4 weeks. Was that true? 3 or 4 weeks?
July
7th.
Yeah. July 7th.
Through something, remember? Because you wrote it down somewhere where there wasn't a single trail.
There wasn't.
It was really strange. It was suddenly stopped. And then it had been about a week, and we were like, hey, have you seen one? And I was like, no. And that's weird, right? Yeah.
What?
And then we kind of went and kept track after that because it was so weird,
3 weeks? I think it was the 7th to the 21st or something like that.
It was almost exactly 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Some certain. I think maybe 3 sounds more familiar.
Can you remember what event happened in July? I think something happened. I don't know.
You're right. There was something coincided. This is when we were still kind of formulating our ideas on things, figuring things out. So we weren't really something coincided, but I forgot.
Something did, because after that, after that they were like, okay, we gotta make up time now.
Can you stop a picture of this right above us right now while we're talking? It just occurred to me, this is that slanted line we just saw that you took a picture of. This is that slanted line. Look up top, right? Isn't that what that is? It became a cloud above us, right?
It looks like it, but at first it was blowing that way though. It was blowing.
Oh, it was going
west.
It was going,
yeah, it's going east.
Mind,
Yeah, it was going east.
All right.
Yeah, because this big cloud was back over there.
It's moving this way.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, because that one was over here. You know. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So you're talking about how you can't recall in being a kid and seeing any of these lines in the sky. You know, and I would agree with you. I think probably most people, if they've thought about it, they probably didn't.
I can't remember any clouds with like straight lines. You know what I mean? Like just like the way they look. You know what I mean?
No,
or more fluffy or.
I recall the concept of like stratus clouds. I remember like I learned about cumulonimbus and stratus clouds and that kind of stuff back in my like science course, my scientism course in high school. You know, and I recall how those looked and where they seemed to be. Altitude-wise, like in the sky, and I'll tell you, like from my memory again of just being a childhood memory, like they were nowhere. They did not resemble anything like what we see now with these lines. The chemtrails, the things that we're calling chemtrails, are definitely lower than the stratus clouds that I remember seeing as a kid, and they're also definitely, and they're distinctly different too, because they're like straight lines. The stratus clouds would look almost like maybe a creature with like 6 claws just scrape the sky, and you see these sort of like a parallel white lines that were of different lengths, that kind of thing. So this is different. This is clearly I can't imagine people looking up and going, oh, that's normal, or like someone bringing that to their attention. And then that person going, oh, you're crazy.
No,
you're a tinfoil hat wearing kook.
It is
because it's like it's weird, man. It is weird.
Yeah, because I mentioned that to you like maybe a few months back that we were watching a movie and the screensaver came on and the screensaver had chemtrails in it. Now these pictures are supposed to be like best quality.
Yeah.
Pristine, you know what I mean? Just wilderness
with like
it's untouched. Yeah, right. It's you're just trying to showcase the quality of the TV. But so I counted, there's like probably 30 images on there, and 3 of them have chem lines. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah,
you can see it's just a white streak going across the background. But the image is beautiful.
Yeah,
it's showcasing the TV, but it's still in there.
That.
Like
I mean, I feel like that begs the question: do people not notice that? Are they really conditioned or indoctrinated? Or I think conditioned's a better word for it. Are they conditioned into thinking that this is normal? This is not weird. Like, don't pay attention. Don't even think twice. Like, because you have a picture in a screensaver, right? And it's a piece of art, and that's going to get looked at. The purpose of that is to be looked at, and it includes a chemtrail.
Correct.
I mean, you'd think somebody, but no, it's so.
And this wasn't like
conditioned, they don't even notice.
Like in the corner of the screen, you know what I mean? So if you're watching your screen, it's not like in one of the corners.
Yeah,
it goes from edge to edge.
It's not like our pictures where it showcases the.
No,
but okay. Also, was it a line, or was it more than one line, or was it doing cross hatches and X's like we see, or the slants and stuff?
Yeah, no,
that stuff
is.
I don't understand how anyone can think, it's normal that we see an X in the sky. Like, how? Yeah. I don't. What kind of a normal plane route would be like? Let's perfectly draw X's in the sky. Like that doesn't. That's ridiculous. I was just gonna say, like, I think I saw, I think I was watching a show last night where I saw chemtrails in the background of the sky.
Like a recent show?
Last night. And also that also brings me to, because I wanted to say this to the other night, because my wife and I watched the show Colony. Have you heard of that show?
It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix now, yeah. It's on USA, actually, though.
Okay.
It's not a Netflix original. It's a USA or something, some other channel, I don't know.
Okay.
But season 2 just popped up on Netflix, so we're watching it now. Did you ever watch Colony?
Yeah, I think you showed me onto that.
I talked about it, and you watched the season 1?
Yes. Was that those drones, and they were like...
Yeah, drones and the wall, and it's like Los Angeles walled off.
Okay,
exactly.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So season 2 just dropped. You should watch it too. But the first episode, we just watched it last night, and I think there's chemtrails in it. But it goes through and shows how it happened, like how, it's like, because the show starts where it's like after the fact.
Correct.
This first episode goes back to like the day of,
Okay.
And it's really good. And I don't want to give it away to you or to like any potential listeners, because it's really like, I remember, like, I forget what I've said and what I haven't said in these rambles now, but have I mentioned how I like love science fiction? I'm a total sci-fi nerd, and it's just like sort of, I get it that it's like this stuff is just in
case anybody's listening to this one as their first one,
there's
kind of give them an update.
So like, okay, I know, I'm fully aware that that science fiction is like one of the premier propaganda tools, one of the indoctrination tools, like this is how they get us, is with science, or one of the things that they get us with is science fiction, and how they convince us of all these things that of our false reality that we like live every day, right? I get it, but I love it still. Like I'm such a nerd about it still, but I also know enough to approach it as it's fiction, but simultaneously I am aware that it's fiction, it's presented as such, but there is truth in it, and the people that make this, I'm not talking about like all the actors and everybody, but somewhere in there is a person who is connected somehow to the system, and to the powers that be. That's it's like, throw that in there, throw this in there, or like don't do that, or do that, and truths are being revealed via science fiction for sure, or at least narratives are being created, or it's just I think it's important, just like it is important to pay attention to news headlines about like what they want us to think, and I think the same goes for science fiction. Like whatever the trends are, like we should be paying attention to that, but anyway, so Colony season 2 shows a very interesting scenario. I feel like I want to talk about it. Damn it. Anyway, let's
go around it, or
why don't you watch that first episode of season 2 and just let me know when.
Let's not call it Colony. Can you change that dialogue and call it like homesteading or something?
Homesteading.
Like you change the dialogue?
No, that don't work. That don't work.
Okay.
It's great though. No, watch it and get back to me, and then we'll do like a little discussion on it or something. But anyway, what else would you got?
I did do that. We saved it. That we were talking about the internment camps. With the Germans. And
you looked up some info. Okay, that's really good. I'm so glad that you went and you followed up, right? Because we're like, talking all this stuff and speaking out our asses, and it's like, oh, you actually looked into it, and I think you found some really good info, right? Because
I think So it's the.
I should probably bring it up because it's
just so I can look at it. But
well, you didn't commit this to memory. Be a noob. I don't know. Okay, here.
Where's the other one? There's one more.
There it is.
All right. So
we're gonna put these up on the.
Yeah, we are. So Executive Order 9066.
When was this passed or written? Let's see. Oh, this doesn't include that.
It was President Roosevelt, right?
Yeah. So 41 maybe.
Yeah. That's put on the second page.
It's in there. 42.
Yeah, so February 19th, 1942, Franklin D. Roosevelt. But, so, it was the numbers of residents.
Okay, so this is the one where this is, now, I didn't read this, but what you showed me was that, because our whole, we had raised the question on when the Japanese Americans were put into the internment camps, and also whether or not there had been other peoples, like other ethnicities or nationalities that were
considered to be and the Axis powers
interned as well.
Right.
And so we didn't know what the truth was, and I think we were going with the idea, well, how come those only Japanese?
Correct.
But according to Executive Order 9066, right, it looks like they also this also authorized and led to internment of some German Americans. Is that
Germans,
right?
yes, and
Italian Americans.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's really important, and also. But what I find interesting is that the numbers and how many. I don't know the numbers of how many Japanese were interned, Japanese Americans, but it looks like about 3,500 Italian Americans and like 5,000 German Americans. That's still like a lot of people. A lot of American people were put in camps against their will because of where like their parents were from.
Correct.
And then also,
but the whole country's the whole country's founded on immigrants. So you're like there are no Americans.
It's like you go back far enough. It's like you go. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Like you go back far enough, and everybody ought to be put in a internment camp.
Yeah, everybody.
But.
So who's running the government?
So that's really interesting info because I think an important takeaway is that that the popular narrative, not popular like woohoo that's so cool, but like the mainstream narrative that is known, right, is that Japanese Americans were the ones interned. I don't like it's not. I mean, it's not like if you ask average Joe citizen that they'd be like, oh yeah, actually there were also 5,000 Germans and 3,500 Italians. I don't think that's as well known. I mean, I've never heard of it. Lived this long, never heard of it, and
but
I think I have sort of an idea of what the mainstream mind is. Something that's probably sort of generally true is that people don't really know about that. What they know about is the Japanese internment camps.
Correct.
And that's kind of interesting. Like, how come we know about that and not the other ones?
Why not the others? The Germans and the Italians. It
might be that there's just volume, or maybe because of the number of Japanese citizens that were, or residents that were interned or detained. Like, I don't know. That could be it, but I find that interesting.
Yeah, so that will be posted. We read it, but you can always pause the video and take a look for it yourself.
I also want to mention that, let's see, yesterday morning when I left for work, there was cloud cover, so I quickly checked the spot, where the ground-based cloud vapor machine thingy is, and yes, it was pumping out stuff. So, I mean, again, that doesn't really, that's just correlation, doesn't really give us much. It doesn't give us positive or negative, but there is a correlation between cloud cover and that vapor machine thing, whatever the heck that is. And I haven't sat down and figured out what that is. I got to get on the maps and kind of look that up, see what that is, or Google Earth or something. There have been a lot of earthquakes lately, right? Have you heard about that?
I saw a couple on my news flash, but I have not checked into any of them. I'm
wondering if, for one thing, have there been more lately in this small time frame than there are usually, or are there actually more happening lately, or am I just paying more attention, or is news and alt news and everything, are they putting it out there more? I don't know what the truth is, but I feel like I've been hearing about earthquakes a lot lately, a lot more than usual.
Where's this one centered? Here in the U.S. or is it like Mexico?
No, so the most recent one was like Alaska 2 days ago.
Okay.
And then I think, actually, I'm pretty sure there's one this morning or last night in off the West Coast right here.
Okay,
it was like a 5.2 or something too.
I did see a feed someone again. They were like going through the streets of like Canada, saying like a tsunami warning or something.
Oh yeah, because there was a big one. There was like an 8.7 or something like that in Alaska a few days ago, and there was a tsunami warning. I guess that never hit, but still, it's just, I feel like there seems to be an increase in frequency, and within a small span of time.
Of these like false terror alerts, kind of.
No. Like, just actual earthquakes,
earthquakes themselves.
Earthquakes being registered and I guess people experiencing them. But I mean, I don't know, because all I'm seeing are headlines. Earthquake hit. I don't know what generates these headlines. Is it just because I know that there are some like programs that like are connected to the seismographs or whatever. So when something when it detects motion of a certain amount magnitude, then it automatically will trigger like an alert. Magnitude this, 5 this, 8 this, whatever like detected. Here's the station that detected it. So. Again, I'm just going off of info from systems in place. I don't have any. This isn't like first-hand info, right?
Okay.
But it does seem to me that I'm seeing lots of headlines for earthquakes lately, and I'm wondering about just what that means. Like is because from what I remember about some of the research I did into earthquakes, and then also into like tectonic plate shifting and that kind of stuff. I thought that there was no real empirical way to like predict earthquakes, and that frequency and time frame and stuff are not predictors of impending earthquake.
Okay.
As far as I know, that from the research I had done something like last year or something, I think I was looking into like stuff that Andrew Johnson had brought up, and because he was talking about expanding Earth theory, I think, with a few people, and that got me thinking, like looking at other avenues, including earthquakes and all that. And it seemed to me that there's no real indicator. It's totally random, So I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking about all these earthquakes I'm hearing about. What does this mean? Because like again, it's always, if I'm hearing something a lot, I feel like it's being told to me for a reason. And then we had talked sometime last year about if so the idea of all the little hammers that could be like the New World Order, that could be like the hammers that shit hits the fan, so we were talking about how it was last year. This was prompted by how there was like Hurricane Harvey and Irma, and there was fires. Were the fires last? When was that?
That was
just December, right? November, December. Anyway, it was like we were prompted about just how it seemed like there was a lot of things were going crazy weather-wise, and also it was essentially affecting people in the way where shit was hitting the fan for those peoples,
Yes.
And we were thinking, well, if this is all like geoterrorism, essentially, like if hurricanes and storms can be created and you can go take out cities and stuff with this. And and this is all sort of speculative. You're just kind of we're kind of going through this kind of like extrapolating this idea, kind of pulling this thread. So if the way of bringing about the New World Order is lots of little hammers, and one of them is geoterrorism, and that involves things like storms and hurricanes, right? Okay. What would it be for? Oh yeah, and also how that stuff's kind of normal. Like it's not too weird. It's not too unexpected for Florida to have an earthquake, having a hurricane.
Yes,
Texas,
kind of too hard to prove.
Right?
Yeah, it's too hard to prove.
It's like okay, sure. Like if like they could pull this off, and anyone that talked against it would probably just look stupid. So what would the thing be in California? Well, probably earthquakes, right? Because everyone knows like the West Coast and Southern California is kind of known for earthquakes and fault activity, right? So then I was thinking, well, if that's the case, then how could that be used? Like, could they use earthquakes against us to bring about New World Order or their depopulation agenda or something? Well, I kind of argued against the idea because I was thinking, but it's so hard to control.
That's what I was worried about.
If you could make that happen, then what? Like, it just takes out blocks and buildings and all this stuff, and then what? Then you've got to. Like, what do you do with that afterward? That seems like that wouldn't be a good move if you're the ones trying to take over. That's strange, right? Okay, sorry, there was an alarm going off, so we had a little cut there. So yeah, I was just saying that I would think that if earthquakes was going to be another weapon, another hammer to bring about New World Order, specifically targeted for this region, for the West Coast or Southern California, that it would be too difficult to manage, and that was why I sort of. All right.
So,
You know what? gonna drop the earthquake topic for now.
Yeah,
maybe that's too much of a hot button.
We'll go to that. So
I think that car's RF is being hacked or something.
So we're just gonna we're gonna stop and we'll come back.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. The alarm's off. Found this article on. Okay, that's.
All right, so
I think this podcast may be cut short. I think. let's
I
call
think
it what
we need
it is.
to comment that this is the 4th time, right? That we've been. I mean, there was one that we didn't record.
Correct.
Where we're trying to record. It turns on. We stop, and it turns off. And this has happened 4 times now. Like, I think we're gonna sign off.
I think.
Right, and we're gonna try this again. But we're not going to hit stop yet. We're going to do our normal sign up.
See,
okay.
So now.
Okay.
That was shorter.
That was shorter. So maybe it has its own.
Let's read the article. Let's
just go. Let's go. Fuck it. Let's go. Okay. All right. So, you wanted me to point out this executive order signed December 20th, 2017. According to Politico.com.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Order number, executive order number.
Jeez.
It's on. We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it and post it.
It'll be posted. Oh my god.
Oh, whatever. Okay, you know what? Rooftop Rambles, yo.
Yep.
Okay, so
You're in
essentially, this is according to Politico, it is the executive order enables the. Sorry, let me just start it over. Okay, it declares a national emergency related to serious human rights abuse and corruption around the world. There's also like sanctions on 13 people. Let's see. More people were sanctioned by the Treasury Department. So total, it says 52 different targets were sanctioned. I guess those are all people, not like entities. Let's see, what else? I don't want to read all this unnecessary junk. Okay. So that's essentially it. There's a national emergency declared in regard to abusers of, enablers of human rights abusers. Human rights abuses.
Yeah, that works.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that was.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so flustered right now. Okay.
Just look the photo. That's what we posted. Pause it and you read it.
Now. Okay. So, what did you want to say about that? Because
like just part of the problem reaction solution type of agenda. Where all the pedophiles, you know what I mean? Like just coming out of the woodworks. I mean. Yeah.
This last year or so, this last news cycle has been dominated by all this.
I think we all knew
Me
it.
Too,
right?
sexual harassment, casting couch stuff. Yeah,
Correct.
it's the stuff that kind of we've been talking about like it was true for forever, but just now it's being admitted to.
Yes.
And now we're talking about it like it's a big deal now for some reason. Like, it's always been going on. It kind of was always a big deal, right? But
yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be doing something about this. It's just funny that like now we're doing something about it, or we care about it. But then also there was last year was also when Pizzagate happened, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And that whole thing, I find it very interesting that like that kind of came and went from a mainstream perspective,
yes.
and got quickly shoved in a conspiracy theory you pile like pretty easily, pretty quickly. And there's even that. Remember, there was that guy that went to the Comet Pizza place and shot it up, and he's like, "I'm here to avenge the kids" or whatever,
yes.
Yeah. And really, that didn't do. I thought that didn't have quite the impact I thought it would.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to. I think that's the thing. Is like it just kind of went away. Like people are like, "Oh, mainstream says it's conspiracy, okay," and they just stopped thinking about it. And like that's no one even. Yeah, it's like it's done. Okay. Yeah. It's like that plan is almost like was put in place to like stop it, to quench it, but they didn't really have to. Yes. So anyway, so that would be like the problem, or I guess, or now the revelation of all the sexual harassment in the workplace, specifically
so you got
Hollywood.
The reaction from everybody here, right? So then they got all this.
Now like all the heightened emotions and all the
protests and
also
marches.
It's like they're This is a common tactic, right? The powers that be take something that is that is occurring. There is sexual harassment. There are men that take advantage of their positions of power because it's because we live in a system that or like male chauvinism or male power is systemic, right? Here at least, and lots of other places. But so they have all the power and they have the ability to abuse women, take advantage of the power, and they do, and it's been going on forever. But the powers that be will take that and use it to push forward their agenda. That stuff really riles me up. Like I get really upset because it's like, this gets into how I've had discussions with some people, really rational, intelligent people who are like, oh, racism is over. Black Lives Matter, that was just a Soros thing. That's not real. Black lives, how about white lives? It's like, what? Are you kidding me? Racism is not over. The fact that
it's over.
The fact that Black Lives Matter it happened, exists, is proof itself that racism is also systemic. It's rampant, right? So the problem isn't that Soros and the powers that be are trying to it's like reverse racism. Let's go get Whitey. No, it's like they're using something real and true, and then they're twisting it to get their agenda forward. And then in the meantime, they're also creating this other paradigm where it devalues these real horrors that exist.
Right.
Sexism exists, racism exists. It's terrible and it happens, but it's like if you start to look into it from a truth perspective, you start to see, all these riots and all these gatherings and marches and protests. There's paid for by and they're populated by actors.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's true, and that's also terrible.
Paid for protesters,
right? Because it's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. That really pisses me off. I've had lots of conversations where it's like, no, I'm sorry. That's yes, there were a bunch of people, agitators, paid to be there to make it worse.
You know what?
But also, Black Lives Matter. It's like, how do you? They can both be true. Just because these people are abusing it or like they're taking advantage of it for their own needs doesn't mean it's not true.
Correct. That's. So I was going to bring that up, real quick. We can get a lot more.
So we'll see where
it,
and you also mentioned the Clintons and all that, right?
Oh, and and other foundations. But even with all those human trafficking organizations that these politicians or
the elite or whatever. What's the word that we use instead? We didn't want to call them elites. We want to call them something else. Scumbags.
Basically, yeah. But there is no prison or jail sentence. Like, how many of them have gone? You've been accused. Like, if you were accused of any.
Oh wait, yeah.
Right?
Are they? What's happened? So, like, okay,
you
Weinstein,
would be in court. Yeah,
right?
you'll be in court, or you would be in jail right now, sitting in there waiting a trial or something like that. But everybody else is still free. You won't be able to get home arrest or and still partake.
What is happening
in your everyday
job
or life or
they
whatever.
still have their freedom.
You still can't
to go around and do so.
Yeah, you still can't give speeches and stuff if you're at a school, if you're a pedophile. You know what I mean? If you've been connected to that, you can't go to.
We're even talking more. So, not even just all the sexism. You're saying also the pedophilia, like these people that are clearly connected to like parties where like little 14-year-old girls are, and
Correct.
It's like these people, they hang out with little kids. What do you think they're doing? But which is this? Okay, I see what you're saying. It's like
even if they have these parties that on these planes, right? So now you're flying cross country, back and forth,
back and forth between the states or nations,
the states or whatever,
with
right?
minors.
Yeah, and you got these minors in the sky. You have no jurisdiction to where, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's no.
Or
it's
you're
almost
on that boat,
if you're at sea, right? So and maritime law and all that's applying, but who's enforcing it? You know what I mean? There's no sky police.
That's what
pulling jets over and checking.
It's like how there's what is it? There's that guy that. Damn, I'm sorry, I don't have any names right now, but I saw this video about it was by I think Jay Myers. He does documentaries, and I saw one about the royals and the royal family.
Yes.
Right. That's one that should definitely be checked out. So there was one section where there's this like billionaire guy who has some island, and he has parties where he invites all these kids, and the royal family is connected, and Trump was connected to that too, and he used to go and attend these parties and stuff. And it's so interesting because again, like we were saying, okay, guys hanging out with girls who are 14 or something at parties. What do you think's happening, right? I mean, come on, let's be real. Obviously, they're having sex. Yeah, they're obviously doing sexual stuff with kids. That's what's going on. Let's not. So I beat around the bush here, but that's the same thing as well. I mean, okay, the director has some hot chick. He says, oh, you want the part? Okay, let's go in my office. 5 minutes later he has the part. 5 minutes, that's it, tops. No, but it's like obviously she's doing sexual favors and getting parts. That's what happens. But before it was like we would talk about it and I don't know, and for some reason it was not pursued, and now people are standing up and it's being pursued. So why aren't people looking at these guys that are obviously engaging in pedophilia? But
there was a one, I guess that one guy for the gymnastics.
Gymnastics, right? Okay, so would this be maybe another purge or something? But I don't think that's going to get very far.
He's not going to serve time?
No, sorry. Whatever he ends up doing, sure, but I don't think it's going to gain traction the way that the sexism, narrative being outed gained traction. He's definitely gained so much traction.
Definitely a fall guy, though. Like Harvey was,
sure,
right?
I mean, he'll be a fall guy, but how now it's like, Me Too, and then the Golden Globes, everyone had the black dresses and stuff, and there's the women's marches and stuff. But that's not going to happen for the pedophilia for the kids. That's not going to happen. I don't think so. I don't predict that because too many of the people, the powers that be, are engaging in that stuff right now with all the other child sex trafficking rings. That stuff's real. That's happening. And if that starts coming out, then that could take down systems. That's or that has potential. It's like that. Look how strongly sort of the left side of people, the left-minded people, are attacking and are the conviction, behind Me Too, women's rights, Wonder Woman, all this stuff. It's it's gained a lot of momentum. If that happened with the kid trafficking, I think that would. I don't think they want to risk that. They want, that would be too much. I think that, how you said, remember, you said, I don't know, a few episodes back, you're we don't need everyone to wake up to change.
Oh, yeah,
you just need a little bit. You need a little bit of, you need a wave. You need a wave large enough to start making even a little impact is enough.
Is enough, correct? Yeah.
If the world, even if it was just a little percentage, actually, but more than just the little, us random truthers, but just if there was mainstream knowledge that all the rich powers that be, all the people have sex with kids and abduct kids and have little slave rings, I don't think we could have a government. I don't think we could have countries that continue to exist. How who would participate in that of all the mainstream people? Like, I don't care how much you think that chemtrails are normal. And you know, like, and Harvey, you know, Hurricane Harvey hanging out over one city, just getting larger and larger for 3 days straight. That's normal. Or, you know, or if you think that, like, Al Qaeda was a real terrorist group that bombed that hit the World Tower with planes and knife box cutters. Sure, if you buy all that stuff, fine. I don't think that same person buys that is going to be like, oh, Hillary Clinton, like, you know, is like part of a child sex ring. That's fine. No way. Like, I'm sorry. Anyway,
I mean, I hate to end it on something like that heavy. I mean,
that's terrible. And I'm hungry too. Maybe I'm just like hangry. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're definitely gonna get back to the subjects though.
Well, so, you know, at least that freaking car alarm stopped, right?
Yeah, that helped.
Well, I don't know. You know, hopefully these have been some good episodes. I'm really hoping that, like, we get into more of a rhythm. We can really start to upload more and more and get, like, regular about it. You know, like, you know, because this is, I think, what it's taken us a month or so to get up a few videos now. You know? We've been recording. If you look at, you know, some of the dates, this is back in December.
Yeah.
So, but we're trying to get more and more regular into this, and hopefully that'll happen. And
we just want your eyes to be open. You know, just look at the other side of the coin. You know, there's always two sides to it. You know, just don't be fed what they're giving you.
I'm trying to think of some kind of analogy, you know, where you take up your own spoon and I don't know, it's gonna start feeding my kids. It's time to go. We lost it. Anyway, this is Urban Amp signing off.
This is Niijii. Thanks for listening.